Alright, now I was really looking forward to this one because it is Game 7 of the tournament, and finally, here's another first for me. It's Dwarves, and never having played Dwarves before with Tomb Kings. The only other time I played Dwarves was back in my childhood days as a High Elf player back in 4th edition, and the game is pretty much a completely different game now. In a lot of respects, not in every respect of course, but here it is, Dwarves, and this guy won the Best Painted Army of the Tournament award, so really enjoyed playing against him. Very colourful battle, very cool looking, and I spent the night before taking a look through the Dwarf book just to see what I'd be up against. As you can see, he's packed away into his corner, and I'll get to explaining what he's taken in his list, but first of all, let me just talk about my deployment, and then we'll go into the next photo. So first of all, the prince and his chariots over the far right, just staying out of range of the organ gun and deploying as far away from the stone thrower, grudge thrower as possible, just to make it harder for him to guess exactly to where my prince is. I don't want him smacking the prince on the head straight away. Left-hand side, I've got the archers, middle infantry, casket of souls, and skelepole opposite his troops, just standard fashion, and Karen behind the woods. So pretty basic deployment. Let's take a look at the next photo where you can see this picture actually shows you that he's deployed a unit of dwarf warriors way over the left-hand side. And when he did that, I couldn't really work out what his plan was. And the only idea I could come up with as to why he did this was just to throw me off, just to try and tempt me into going over and attacking him, which I knew would be a bad idea. So I decided to just ignore him over here, and I mean, surely he couldn't spring anything in terms of magic items or funny tricks. So yeah, I just trusted my intuition here and decided to not do anything about these dwarves. But just in terms of, I'll just go to the next picture so you can see his actual deployment over here. He's got the organ gun being represented by the bolt throwers. They actually represent an organ gun further out from his forces, just in the middle, so that he'll be in range straight away for all of my stuff. And then he's deployed 2 units of Longbeards next to his, on either side of his stone thrower, and on either side of the Longbeards he's got 2 units of warriors. So it's from right to left, it goes warriors, Longbeards, Longbeards, warriors, and then finally right smack in the corner he's got an Anvil of Doom, because it doesn't need line of sight to my guys to actually be effective. So really looking forward to this game. It'll be a very different game. For once I'll be actually moving across to his side rather than the other way around. I'll be tunneling all of my insects under the stone thrower. Very worried about his war machines, and quite worried about the Anvil of Doom as well. And also worried about trying to attack his big blocks without getting a flank charge. And now, of course, he's in the corner. It's going to be very hard for me to flank him, so I'm going to have to come up with a plan or a few good plays to be able to take that out. Next photo, the Tomb Kings won the roll for the first turn. Actually I can't remember who won the roll for the first turn, but the only thing I do remember for sure is that he fired his stone thrower and it misfired straight away and rolled a 1 straight away, so it blew up straight away. So very bad luck from my opponent straight away. I was really worried about that too, because it was going to mash my chariots. And as you can see, there are 2 coins and a little counter on top of each other, where I was planning on just burrowing up all of my insects, and now they have nothing to kill except the Anvil of Doom, incidentally. So, great start to the game. Let's go to the next picture. So my opponent decides to march down one flank with his dwarf warriors here, just while I'm moving through the center. He's decided that he's only going to need 3 units to stop me in his corner. In the meantime, he'll just harass me over here with his dwarf warriors. Fair plan. I mean, I can't blame him for trying that. But let's see how it goes. Let's look at the next photo here, where the carrion have just moved out in front of my dudes here, getting ready to charge through at the organ gun crew in the magic phase. In the meantime, I'm pulling my archers back, just to make sure that they have as long a time as possible to avoid the dwarf warriors before dealing with them. And on the side, the chariots are just slowly moving their way around, thanks to, well, the prince will be able to move them a little bit faster, but the other unit of chariots won't be able to move very fast at all. Next picture, man, things are going very well. The carrion destroyed the organ gun crew by killing one of them and breaking the other 2 with fear. So they flee, and the carrion charge after them, wiping them out. Things going perfectly, dealt with both of his war machines so far. In his turn, he tries to charge me on the flank with his warriors there, because they're in line of sight arc. But he fails his fear test, so every single dice roll possible that he could fail, he has. He's also failed the Anvil of Doom to do anything, so everything's fine as far as that goes. Actually, no, he used the one to make them move a unit. I actually thought he'd try to blast some of my guys with that, but such was not the case. Here's his unit in the corner, just, there to capture a table corner, there to annoy me, but it's nowhere near in range of my chariots, so nothing to worry about there. Prince's units looking pretty good on the hill there, just moving around. Eventually, I'll be within charge range. Next photo, the Scorpion charges the Anvil of Doom, and the other Scorpion has charged the Battle Standard Bearer, but didn't manage to take it out. The Scorpion died. The Swarm is just hanging out there, doing nothing, and looks like the Scorpions managed to get a wound on the Anvil of Doom Rune Lord so far, so a nice fight's going on there. I actually thought that the Anvil of Doom gave him a ward save, but apparently it's only against shooting, so Scorpion, perfect thing to take out the Anvil of Doom. Everything going right this game, so it's just been such a breeze, a real comfortable game so far. Next picture, the Dwarves are getting a bit closer. Unfortunately, this photo's a bit blurry because the camera's moving too fast. But the King, you can probably just make out the shape of the King in my bigger archer unit. He's flown back over, so the King's ready to charge in and get some kills there. Next picture, chariots, infantry, everybody's closing in. The BSB's left the Dwarf unit to beat off the Scorpion. And in the meantime, Carrion just moving around, doing very little. Next photo after this, the BSB charges the Scorpion. They get a wound on it, but the Scorpion actually kills the Rune Lord, and the BSB actually broke in combat and ran away, unbelievably, while the Scorpion was still in combat with the Anvil of Doom crew. So this has just been a shocking game. He's failed every important break test, every important fear test. He's failed all his war machines, fluffed every combat roll. So everything's just going hilariously. I've been firing at him with my catapult a lot, but never actually hitting. It's always just scattering and missing. Next photo, this is a much better photo of what's happening on my flank here. The Dwarves are just continuing to move through, getting a lot closer to my guys. I've done a little sneaky maneuver there with the archers just to form them up into a rank of 5 with 2 on file. They won't get any rank bonus, but it means that if they get into combat, fewer Dwarfs will be able to actually hit them, giving him less combat res from them and allowing me to charge in from a different angle and flank break him if he turns to face a different way. Next photo, the Dwarves are moving up to the hill, really not achieving very much there. The Carrion are just going to get out of the way, and things looking fine. He's sort of breaking a little bit of formation there, but it'll still be hard for me to blow through his ranks because he's got so many of them. This is a unit of Ironbreakers on the hill, by the way, not Ironbreakers, Longbeards. Next picture, everybody's in charge range now, so this is getting quite close to the end of the game. He's rallied his BSB. The Scorpion's still fighting the Anvil of Doom guards. And the Chariot's just in position to charge now, but I'm going to wait for turn 6 to do this because I don't want to get bogged down in combat if I fluff it. And I think, I won second turn, so he won first turn, I got second turn. That means my turn 6 will be the last turn of the game. I've already got points for the War Machines and the Rune Lord, and I'll get points for the unit over the far side. I'll get more table quarters than he will, and I should be able to break at least one of these units if I charge in with a few different guys. Next picture, the King is getting into the forest here, getting ready to magic move his way in for a charge. It may not look like it from the photo, but I guarantee you from being the player of this game that there's a 4-inch gap between the King's unit of archers and the Dwarves, so he'll be able to charge through the forest and make it into combat. The Hierophant's moved out of the skeleton unit so he can cast his magic on the King's unit. And away we go. The Chariot's just getting ready for the last fight. What actually, just taking another look at the photo here just from his side so you can see exactly what's going on. Really good looking game. There's very well painted models from his side too, but let's go again to the next photo after that. On the far top left of the photo, the Scorpion's taken out the Anvil of Doom guard, so there's no Anvil left. BSB is just standing there looking like an idiot. And the King declared a charge against the Dwarf Warriors down the bottom left. My opponent decided he was going to lose because he was getting flank charged by the King, so he decided to flee off the board. Only reason he did that was to deny me 100 points for the banner. He wasn't confident that he could have held. Personally, I would have tried holding, but that was his choice. I guess it was a decent choice because of outnumbered by fear and he wasn't immune to psychology. It's an important thing. So Tomb King's turn 6 coming up very shortly, and we'll be seeing some action on the far right. Now, finally the Skelepult hits the unit of Dwarves and takes out a rank, and that's what I was really, really after, because had I not been able to do that, he might have beaten me in combat res alone, so that was the key opening the path to victory right there. So looks like a final turn here. The Tomb Prince's unit charges into a unit that was there, wipes them out, and overruns into the second unit right here. VSB standing by himself, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He's only got this one other unit left, and the game ends. And wow, great game, very comfortable for me. Felt very sorry for my opponent, just fluffing everything. It could have been a much more interesting and close game had that not happened, but you know, that's what did happen, so you know, what can you do about it? First time against the Dwarves was a massacre, and hope to play the Dwarves again someday. Alright, that's it.